Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. I'm Exothermic and the date today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. I've been doing a countdown of my favorite video games of all time through each day of the year, and coming in at number 237 is Spyro the Dragon.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat? Besides, he is ugly. Ugly? That does it!
Huh? Looks like I've got some things to do.
In Spyro the Dragon, you play as Spyro, and I know this is really complicated, so stay with me here. He's a dragon. The goal of the game is to adventure through magical lands to free all of the other dragons that have been turned to stone. Typically, in fantasy, dragons are large, powerful monsters that breathe fire and eat people. The fire part is still there, but less so with the eating people thing. Another element of dragons that's sometimes there is extreme intelligence. The Spyro franchise leans into that a lot more because all of the dragons you're freeing are artisans that, instead of terrorizing the nearby villagers, spend their days practicing some kind of art form. Similarly to the laid-back lifestyle of those dragons, Spyro's got some pretty laid-back gameplay. Each level has a number of gems, petrified dragons, and dragon eggs for you to find. The entire game is just about finding these collectibles and completing each level that way. You get some really crisp action platforming with jumping, gliding, running, and fire breathing. Defeat monsters with the charge and fire. Oftentimes either works, but some enemies protect themselves with armor against different types of attacks, so you have to find their weakness. I should mention, in case it's not obvious, that I'm playing the Spyro Reignited version of the game for this recording. All of the sounds and graphics are definitely a massive improvement, but the actual controls and responsiveness were just as perfectly done in the original. A big part of the excitement to the game is the exploration itself and sense of scale and wonder in the world. Many of the levels are even hidden, and some of the collectibles take a lot of puzzle solving and detective work to locate. Leave no stone unturned, and no grass unburned. I have to admit, I was a bit anxious about recording this game because I was worried my love for it was going to be purely nostalgia based, because I hadn't touched the game since we borrowed it from my cousin over 20 years ago, and there was a strong possibility the gameplay wasn't going to hold up the way I remembered. I'm delighted to report that it's just as good as I remember, maybe even better, and the simple charm of Spyro is just as effective as it was back in the day. Join me tomorrow as I talk about the 236th game on my list, where I get turned upside down and then die on some spikes. Many, many times.